while I feel like we've heard about AI and in particular Chat GPT every single day for the last few months, the reality is that it's it's not yet being ubiquitously adopted across organizations. In communications departments, in marketing departments, I think that's still in a very experimental stage. But your and my good friend Francois Gossier recently posted something saying, AI is not going to take your job. People who know how to use AI effectively are going to take your job. So, we'll say the same thing we said about social technologies and other digital technologies is get familiar with them and learn how they can be effective tools. We talked a lot about that conference about having the role of communications, which was so elevated during the pandemic because the importance of communications in organizations was finally understood to be so important, is to really transform that role from being the documenters or the message writers to being the chief solutions officers. And I just loved that phrase. And I think that AI is another tool that helps us to do that. There is a risk of disinformation and misinformation being accelerated through AI as well. There have been several documented reports about ChatGPT kind of making things up in terms of sourcing. That's not good. And we don't need more content. We need good content, better content, good information, easier ways to make sense of all the content that we're all exposed to every day, easier ways to make sure that what we are reading and seeing can be trusted and is accurate and is informational, not misinformational. But I think once again, it's a lot of parallels to social media. We can't put our heads in the sand and say there's too many risks or it's too scary or we don't understand it, therefore we're not going to use it. Also going back to the analytics around who's saying what to whom and why does it matter and where do we have to use our limited resources to dig in and take advantage of either conversation trends or market trends or disinformation or reputation management or whatever it is. And those are all areas that we now have better tools to do. And I think the demand is going to be higher because those tools exist and they require more investment. I think all of us would agree that this feels like that next level of transformation that we all experienced in the early 2000s and we're banging on the door saying this stuff is important, please please pay attention, we can transform our profession here, and we have to, because there's so many challenges and problems right now that we have to address with trust and with how people make decisions based on the content that they have and taking advantage of the opportunity that organizations, businesses are the most trusted institution. Again, according to Edelman, that can be very short-lived if we don't take responsibility for learning how to use these tools more effectively.